in Starkville, Mississippi right now in the field house, but I'm from Sugar Lock, Mississippi, man. It's about 45 minutes south of here. It's go time, it's practice time. Pretty day today. You know, we got to make the best of it. We've been in a slump lately, but you know, they say the best way to get out of a slump, you know, just kind of keep swinging. So that's what we're gonna do, man. Just keep at it, find a way. We're gonna get this win. Sports been just kind of a part of my life. My uncles, my parents, everybody was just kind of involved and kind of motivated me to kind of play sports. But honestly, just by being in an environment, not necessarily just making me do it. I've always kind of wanted to do it on my own. I've always been kind of competitive. I was always that kid who played with the older kids as far as playing any sport. The World Series, we'll play the NBA championship, we'll play the Super Bowl all in one day. So we kind of grew up just enjoying the game at its most purest, rawest form. So I enjoyed it and I loved it though. Hey, that's my DC right there. Get here, man. Get my DC right there.
What about it?
Big time.
Hope. I ain't worth nothing. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, get them on out. You got to be able to adapt and find different ways to motivate these kids, because what motivated me 25 years ago ain't gonna motivate these kids, you know, truthfully. So I'll be lying to myself and making my life harder trying to coach them the way I was coached. Some of the stuff, some of your morals and your values are still the same, but the way you implement it and try to get them to see stuff is gonna be a lot different from how you were taught, and where maybe you understood it differently than they would understand it these days. So that's kind of how I feel on that. To me, sports mean everything to Starkville, first and foremost. This is a sports town. As you can see, Mississippi State, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, this is a place where you want to be when you're talking about sports. High school-wise, we're good in all sports. Been blessed. We won a lot of games. Still haven't won the big one yet. We lost the big one in 17. You never know when you get the opportunity again, you know, so it makes you understand that every day is just as important as the next day, or you can't look too far along because you're not guaranteed nothing. So that taught me a lesson. And I mean, you hear coaches talk about it all the time about how you got guys who may go years and whatever and not ever win one, and now I kind of get it, you know, it's hard. Football here has always been good. It's a great place for football. Like I said, we've been successful. We've sent a lot of kids to college, and to me that's just as important or more important than, you know, winning the state championship. You don't learn as much as you do from winning it as much as you do from losing. Always, no matter what, just keep pushing. If it don't work, try again. If it don't work, try again. That's just my mindset. Everybody up real quick. Everybody up. All right, listen, hey, first and foremost, Friday's Friday, like we said the other day, man. Friday's gone, all right, but control what you can. All right, energy and effort today. I mean that. Ruffin starting this week. All right, we're gonna rally behind Ruffin and we're gonna win. But going into the season, I thought our strength would be a little bit different than now, truthfully, but that's why you play. You know, that's why you play games instead of, there's no such thing as a paper champ or whatever they put on paper, that only means so much for the moment. But when you play the games, you know, they kind of determine a lot more. All right, so lock in, let's have fun though. Don't worry about no pressure. Don't worry about winning right now. All right, just have fun today. All right, practice the right way, we'll win on Friday. It's real simple. Do the little stuff right. And once again, rally behind your quarterback. All right, he got your back, y'all got his back. We're gonna be special on Friday. And I think we kind of got it figured out, but once again, it's all trial and error, right? So we dealing with kids too, right? So you're talking about 14, 15, 16-year-old kids who are different from day to day. You talking about from month to month, like day to day depends on what the girlfriend did or what the friends told them or something. You never know. And also just once again, playing through adversity, like injuries, that's a part of it. Sometimes are you hurt or you injured. If you hurt, find out a way that you can play through it. If you're injured, that's a totally different story. Like as far as injuries, you gotta work what you have, right? You can't go sign a free agent off the street. You know what I mean? You can't, this is high school, so you gotta be creative within what you have and make it work. To me, I can say it's always better this way, and you learn more and you appreciate your work more. Make sure everybody locked in. Let's get something out of this. Let's have fun. Let's get better today. Let's get a break. Let's go first group up, 11 personnel. I mean, we talking about junior varsity, 9th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, yeah, you want to win, but to me, that ain't the main objective, right? It's to teach kids the game, so as they get older, they have a better understanding and increases their chances of winning when they do get to varsity. To me, varsity has more value in winning, teaching them the proper way to get in the stands, understanding the scheme, because that's what you're going to be doing in varsity, all right? So you're trying to teach them the same offense or the same defense. So it's not as important that you win because you don't have it yet. You're trying to teach them the concepts. You're trying to develop them as players. To me, it's more about player development than it is about winning, you know, because with balls, you get growth spurts. So this 5'6" bag up running back who probably wasn't very good 7th grade, 8th grade, had a growth spurt 9th grade, and you can kind of see some stuff like it's to me the developmental phase of just sports and just adolescence. You talking about boys, man, because I didn't grow like probably until like 11th grade, you know, so I can see and understand that sometimes this kid who was on the bench in the 9th grade or in 8th grade, I can understand how this kid all of a sudden is a starter now because he trusted the process, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. He worked his butt off. He didn't really care about stats, really didn't care about winning. He just wanted to get better. And when he grew and got a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, because of the stuff that he did in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, now I'm a good sized kid. Now I can compete and play. And to me, that's more of my focus. You know, when you're talking about younger kids and as far as like junior varsity and junior high, it's all about player development. Also with high school kids also, but to me, you put more of a premium on winning, in my opinion, at the varsity level than you do at the lower level.
On this one, cut your spits off. Cut your spits, guys. Cut it, man, get close to the ball. There you go. Cut it. Wash everything down. Johnny, you gotta go to quarterback, same thing. Quay, you got the motion.
And he's talking about Starkville and Oxford, he's talking about Egg Bowl. I think the little Egg Bowl, but he got the trophy now. You know, that's the goal for this week, to go get it back. We're looking forward to it. Today is just Monday. We got a whole week left before we play, but it's in the air, man. I heard a lot of kids talking about it yesterday. We got to get our trophy back. And I think somebody might have posted something on Snapchat or something about the trophy. So that's their motivation, you know. So whatever it takes to motivate them, I'm cool with it. That's the fact that we was playing Oxford, you know, would have been all it took for me back then. So every time we play them, man, it's always going to be a good game. He has a good program. He does a good job. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. And to me, a guy like that brings out the best in myself, knowing I got to bring my A game as a coach.
You so busy looking at this. All right, work on your game, right? So flash, hit your feet, drive it in there. Hey, get your foot up, man. 3 big, 2 small, run. Work on your game.
As far as talking about rivals, to start off, you got to say West Point. You know, that's big. West Point, we've added Louisville back to the schedule. Really, everybody's our rival. But probably the biggest is like locally, talking about West Point, Louisville. And I used to coach in Louisville too, so I lived there for 10 years. I think just this area in general, because we all have similar backgrounds, to me, it's just physical football in this area. You're talking about Starkville, you're talking about West Point, Louisville, Knoxville, you're going to pretty much get the same brand. The scheme may be different, but the brand of football, as far as being fast and physical and being tough, you're going to pretty much get that every week, though, because this is kind of who we are. You know, everybody wants bragging rights. Everybody wants to beat Starkville. We want to beat everybody. That's just kind of how I feel about it, you know, at the end of the day. So to me, we're everybody's rival. But locally, the community, we got to beat West Point. We got to beat everybody in this area that we play. The ultimate goal for this team is to win out. You know, I play in this, state championship, but it has to happen 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. And, ultimately, it's making them better people. Outside of football, it's just being better people. So to me, just preparing them for life. Football's gonna end. It ended for me. It ended for a lot of more people. So what's next? You gotta have a plan for that. So enjoy the game, but use all the stuff that this game is teaching you to be a better person. To me, that's the ultimate goal. But when you're talking about football, the ultimate goal is to win championships. But when you're talking about kids, the ultimate goal is to make them better kids so they can be like productive citizens when they leave high school, whether it's college, whether it's in the workforce, whatever the case may be. To me, that's the main goal for kids and the main goal for the team as far as football.
Control what you can, man.
I'm learning that.
Next man up.
That's all you can do.
Good leaders makes everybody around them better. Like, what are you talking about? Players, just like Tom Brady, for example. He makes everybody around him better. You may not like the way he do it, but he gets it done. Whether it's players, whether it's coaches, everybody around him is better. And it's the same way I feel like as coaches, a good coach, for whatever reason, like you can't even explain it sometimes. I don't know what it is about him, but he just makes his team better, he makes his staff better, he makes everybody around him better. I think that's ultimately like the mark of a good coach. You got to be able to adapt. You got to understand the lay of the land as far as what he is, as far as the culture. I think that's important to understand your locker room, understanding where these kids come from, because they all come from different walks of life. And you got to have an understanding of, how to relate to where they come from. And you don't have to come from there to be able to relate from where they're from, right? I think that's important. Like I said, relationships, having a relationship, because to me you can't have rules without relationships, and you can't expect kids to run through a wall for you if you don't know them or they don't know you. And to me that kind of always goes back to relationships. The big deal is the ability to maximize the most out of each kid. Whether if this kid is to me, you got different levels. All right? You got decent players, you got average players, you got good players, you got great players, right? So as a coach, I think it's always important as far as measuring the ability to make an average player good, a good player great, and a great player just like Hall of Fame type status. And I think, to me, that's a trick within itself, because sometimes a kid is already good in his mind, but there's always more. And the trick is getting him to see that, yeah, you good now, but like you got so much getting better to do. And to me, that's an art. That's what Nick Saban does. I'm always say that. A lot of people may not like him. Like I said, I like coaches versus team. So I'm not necessarily an Alabama fan. I'm a Nick Saban fan because people always see that he gets the 5 stars, the 4 stars. Yeah, that's true, but he develops them. Like they come there, someone come there 5 stars who 380 pounds. When they leave, they 305, they chisel up, they a lot better than they were when they came in. Yeah, they were good in high school, but when they left, like they were really good, and they were first rounders now. To me, that's the mark of a good coach, making everybody around them better. Coaches too. Same thing he does with his coaching staff, man. Like, and that's the mark of a leader, period, right? So, good leaders makes everybody around them better. Game day to me means everything because of all the work that you put into it. I can't speak for everybody, but I know for myself, man, it kind of takes you back to your childhood of looking forward to Friday night, when the NFL wasn't even on your mind, or college wasn't even on your mind. Like, you was looking forward to Friday night football and cheering for your cousin or the local guy who was down the street, who was kind of more your hero at the time than like some NFL guy, because you wasn't that far advanced. Like, to me, this is the purest of the purest. If you're talking about like football, you're talking about like sports in general, because like we're doing it for free. When you're talking about kids, they ain't doing it for no NIL deals. They're not doing it because they're on scholarship. They're not even doing it to feed their families like NFL guys. Like, they're doing this because they enjoy the game. And to me, like, that's what it should be about. I give it my all, truthfully, when it comes to coaching and anything I do. So by the time Friday hits, it's like, I think I might have said this before, but it's like payday, right? I'm looking forward to the opportunity to cash in on all the work that, we put in, from Sunday to Friday at the end of the day, right? So this is your chance to kind of sit back and enjoy the work that you put in and watch the kids go play and try to execute a plan that you put together. To me, Friday's just kind of well worth it, man. Like, you put all your work in, Go out here and just have fun, enjoy yourself.